Welcome to episode 33 of Business and Leadership Stories with Sachin Bhandary from the Story Co. You must go check out the Story Co. and all the interesting stuff that they're doing. Workshops, sessions to just improve your marketing and communication skills. And HRs of companies, if you're listening, this is the man for the job. How are you, my friend?
Very good, Hrishi. Very good. Good to be here again.
Format is really simple. He tells us about a story of the day from which emanates a marketing or communication tip for the day. And today, it's about the phenomenal writer Yuval Noah Harari, the man who wrote Sapiens, the man whose talks, lectures, and books are famous around the world. There's a little stampede to try and get his signatures when he came into Mumbai to deliver a talk a couple of years ago. So, what is it about Harari that you find absolutely fascinating? And your piece actually is titled Write a TED Talk, and the inspiration is Yuval Noah Harari.
Hrishi, first of all, I'm jealous that you got to meet the man because he's pretty much the number one inspiration for me to start the Story Co. It's basically his hypothesis that told me that we need a company which helps businesses tell better stories. But I'll get down to the point about how it all started. About 7 or 8 years ago, Yuval Harari gave a TED Talk. I was listening to the TED Talk and at one point, he doesn't seem like a humorous man, right? It doesn't seem like he's a
little serious,
serious kind of fellow. But he says that, if you ask a chimpanzee, give me the 7 bananas you have, and you will go to chimpanzee heaven, and he will say, what's wrong with you? Are you a human? But the same thing happens with humans, right? Like you can tell humans that why don't you sacrifice what you have, because after the end of this life, you will go to heaven and things like that. So his hypothesis is that humans are the most dominant force, the most dominant species on the planet because of the fact that we believe in stories and we have the ability, collective ability to believe in one particular story, and thousands, if not millions of people believe in the same story, and that's why things work. So currency is that kind of a fiction, laws are fiction, companies are fiction. So everything that we believe in is one form of fiction or another, is something that I learned from Yuval Harari.
Yeah, Harari basically, for those of you who haven't read Yuval Noah Harari, talks about this whole belief system of his that humans are storytelling animals, and it forms the basis of his book Sapiens, and a lot of his work still has remnants of that particular philosophy. So what do you actually help your mentees with? Taking this core idea, what is it that you ask them to exercise, or an exercise that you help them through or help them conduct?
Right. So over the years, as I've observed people like Harari, right? I mean, Yuval Harari is one great example. But if you look at many other speakers, communicators, politicians, even our Prime Minister, Achhe Din Aane Wale Hain, or Barack Obama, yes, we can. Everybody has that one singular idea on which either their company, their business, or their leadership is based upon, right? And it's not necessarily that it's only one single idea. There could be a few.
Multitude
but
of
people
ideas,
do have very specific themes or ideas that get associated with them. And as a founder or as a leader, so if a founder, you are going to have a hypothesis on which your business is built. So for instance, like how Cred's Kunal Shah says that 10% of Indians who do the most discretionary spends are the ones who are going to move the economy forward. So at Cred, we are building this high trust community so that they continue to spend in the right way and India keeps moving forward. So like that, as a founder, you need to find your singular idea on which you're building your company. As a business leader, you need to figure out your leadership idea, which is going to help the company move forward. So to be able to do that, I think it's good to think that you've been invited to give a TED Talk like Yuval Harari, even if you're not invited to do that. And through that, you can discover which is that one strong belief on which your leadership or your business is based upon, or even your career for that matter. The strong belief in which my company is based upon is the fact that we connect with stories and not with jargon or strategy speak or numbers, and hence more of us should narrate stories in our communication if we want to be successful business people, startup founders, or even leaders for that matter.
The thing is that I've delivered a few TEDx talks, which is basically TED's franchise model, whereby they tell people, come on, you can have your own version of it, except that you will call it TEDx.
Yeah.
And I found the starting point to be really difficult. And you ask CEOs of companies, And them staring at a blank page is the most difficult thing, right? So how do you suggest we go about it? Point form? Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah?
Yeah, I have a couple of suggestions. In fact, I know that business leaders would rather wrestle a lion than,
Look at a blank page.
look at a blank page and write something from start, because it's very easy for them to edit, right?
True.
Take them something, this is not good, go rework. But when it comes to writing a TED Talk or figuring out your hypothesis or your belief, I think step one would be to write something which I call the I believe statements.
Wow.
So you start off with I believe. So, first you can start off with everything and then eventually come down to your business or your leadership. So I believe stories are really powerful and they are better than communicating in numbers. I believe that empathy is really important. So write down all of your I believe statements, and then there are some titles or title prompts which can help you come up with the TED Talk title, which could be something like I believe, but you can also look at the power of. You can also look at two contradictions, right? Everybody says that saving is the best way to create wealth, but I'm going to tell you it's not, right? So that's also something interesting that people would like to listen to. So this way you can come up with your own TED Talk title. And of course, the more important part then is to be able to build this with the right kind of data, stories, examples, so that whenever you are communicating with your team, with your customers, with investors, you are not just giving a great headline, but you actually have something to back it up with as well.
Well, some prompts or thought starters to write TED Talk titles line some of the famous talks of all time, and Sachin has actually listed them down. The Power of Vulnerability, which he gave a variation of. Looks aren't everything. Believe me, I am a model. Your body language may shape who you are. The Power of Introverts, how to make stress your friend, and do schools kill creativity. So it's a fantastic exercise and in potential TED Talk titles.
Yeah. So these are actual TED Talk titles, and I would recommend the listeners, if they are interested, to just go Google them or check them out on YouTube. Fantastic speeches or talks which can actually change your life.
Wonderful. So you would say the marketing and communication tip for the day would be?
The marketing and communication tip for the day would be that find out the belief or the hypothesis on which you're building your business, your leadership, or your company. And more often than not, the answer is simple. It's just that it takes time to come. And like they say, right, simple is really difficult. So, and if you need some help along the way, of course, there's Sachin Bhandary from the Story Co.
Wonderful. Sachin writes this wonderful newsletter called Win with Stories. He also sends an email every week with a message wrapped in a short story. Then there's an actionable tip, a few content recommendations, all of that. If you subscribe to him or reach him, and where can people subscribe to you or reach you?
It's pretty easy. You can look for Sachin Bhandary on LinkedIn. So SACHIN BHANDARY. And on my profile, there's a link which says get in touch or stay in touch. If you click that, you can either subscribe to my newsletter or you can also book a call with me so that I can come and help teams and business leaders in your organization.
Great stuff. So till we meet again next time around, buddy, start writing your TED Talk.
Good one.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
94.3 Radio 1.